Here we go. It's saying preparing
taking
to
your
go.
career to the next level allows you.
Oops.
I think I'm just gonna take it off. Is that okay?
Yeah. Whatever you feel comfortable with, honey. Okay, so we should be live now. Yeah, we're live. Good morning, Sadia. Good morning. I mean, it's afternoon time for you, isn't it?
Yes. Hey, Suemyya. Good to see you again.
Oh, lovely to see you as always. Thank you so much for doing this live interview with us today.
My pleasure.
Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself? Who you are, what you do, and just a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, I'm a mother of 2 boys and married for almost 10 years, living in Sydney. And I'm currently working as well. I've started work after a very long gap. So I'm working as a insurance consultant. But I have also done my master's and I've had different roles in different industries in my past. I worked with FMCGs as a stock analyst. I worked in a bank as an internal auditor team lead. And I've also worked in marketing field in a private channel in Pakistan. So I come from Pakistan, but I'm based in Sydney at the moment.
I actually didn't know that about your professional background. Wow, such a diverse background. You've kept that really quiet.
Yeah, we never got a chance to discuss that because we had so much, many other things going on.
So let's take you back to your journey, because this has been a really beautiful journey. Just so that people can get the context of this. You'd approached me, you jumped into my DM and said, "Oh, what are your fees? Can you help me?" So
Yes.
what challenges or what was happening at that point in your life where we randomly connected and you just jumped into my DM to reach out and ask for help? What was, what challenges was going on in your life? What was happening at that point?
So what happened, it's a long story. I'll try to keep it short. I moved in Sydney like 7-8 years back and I had my first child here. Everything was okay before I gave birth, but after the birth of my first child, there were a few complications with his birth. And then I was alone here. I had no parents, no siblings. We were the first among our families to reach Australia. So we really we had a few friends, but definitely friends cannot replace family. So it was a very difficult time for me emotionally and physically. Why it hit me hard was I had never imagined myself being alone in this situation. Because back home in our culture, in our countries, this is a big, huge thing. When you give birth, you're taken care of. You have a lot of support from you. Usually girls go to their mom's house after birth, or they spend the last few days there and give birth and stay there for a month before they go to their in-laws.
You're treated
But
like
here I
little
was
princesses, aren't we?
Yes. Oh my
Take
God.
it for granted.
You're treated really good. There are women taking care of you, giving you advice, and you know how to handle things. And I never knew all this. We are 8 siblings. I'm the eldest, and I have had a lot of traumas in the past, but I wasn't aware of how badly they were impacting me before I gave birth to my first child. So why it triggered me and how it surfaced was after I gave birth to my child, I realized everything was coming back to me from my childhood. Like I could see that what I was repeating as patterns right after I had birth, I realized this is not what I want to do. And then it hurt me badly because I was treated this way. And then it was emotionally, I was really hurt, thinking that was wrong, what happened with me, so this really triggered me. And I had a really difficult time in the first few. My son had to get a surgery done in the first few weeks of his birth. He was almost going to pass away because he was having a breathing issue from birth, which went undiagnosed. So for 4 weeks, he was not getting diagnosed. And once he did get diagnosed, we got to know that it was so severe that he needs to get operated soon after diagnosis. So I think within one day, we were transferred to the hospital, and within 1 week, they operated him. And then it took a while before he got better. So that was the start of my journey, where I realized how bad these things are impacting me. Because after the birth, I was literally traumatized. And I remember myself not being able to breathe, sitting on the sofa, not able to clean my house, look after myself, look after my kid. And I was having huge depression, depressive thoughts, recurring memories, flashbacks, all the bad things, everything, nothing good. It was all like a dark period. That's when I realized I need help. And I reached out to and I had I couldn't understand why I was frequently visiting my doctor for various physical symptoms, but it wasn't helping me at all. Then I realized that I need to speak out about my mental health to the doctor. And when I spoke to her, luckily she referred me to the in-house psychologist or psychiatrist. I'm not sure what they're called. And from there, I got some help for some time. And I thought it was helping me, but it was a very slow process. And the help was really, a drop in the ocean. So it wasn't like a really drastic change or something. And this journey for me went on. I kept on getting connected to mental health professionals for a long time. So it's been like 6 years now, I can say. I've been on and off trying to seek help from counseling, talk therapy, but it gave me some changes, some impact, some betterment, but it was so slow and so little that when I reached out to you a few months back, I was at a verge of ending my marriage, at the verge of losing my mind, wanting to go solitude, had nothing good to think about my life, was feeling as a failure. Then I hopped on to a coach and got some help for connecting with myself. That helped me a little bit, but I realized, and the coach also mentioned to me, that you need further help that goes deep down.
Right. So this was a coach before you reached out to me.
Before I reached out to you.
I just want to say, at this point, you've been on a journey for 6 years. I just want to give you hats off. Like, you've been so committed that no matter what, you've still just carried on to try to find the solution, even after 6 years. It not going deep enough. I just really wanted to say that I really admire your determination.
Thank you, Suemyya, because I knew that the problem is somewhere within me that needs to be, and I made a lot of dua. I woke up for tahajjud, I kept praying, and alhamdulillah, this is from Allah. Definitely, I'm a Muslim, and we believe that, nothing can happen without his will. So he has guided me. He has provided me all this help. And at the right time, maybe I know it or not, alhamdulillah. And so, so when I got to know that, I realized, I already realized, but I knew that I had to go deeper. But the cost was a bit something that I could not afford. So I started looking out for other people that I could connect with and see if I can find some same level of help, but something that I can afford, an affordability. And that's how I connected with you. It was just somehow randomly your profile came into my Facebook account, and I was like, okay, when I looked at you, I felt genuine, like some genuine.
Thank you.
And it was a beautiful connection because you had such a beautiful picture on your Facebook. And I belong to the Middle East. I've grown up in the Middle East, and it somehow just reminded me of past and, good memories and the Middle East and the beautiful, genuine person
in the background.
because I've lived there and it's a very beautiful country, and I know there's so many beautiful people out there, and there's a lot of genuine and purity in, like, um maybe I'm biased, but yes, I feel that way.
No, I know what you mean. I mean, I was
Yeah.
born and raised in the UK, and then after my husband got a job in Egypt, well, initially Kuwait, we both worked in Kuwait, then moved to Egypt. So I know what you mean about the Middle East, and people just have a good soul. They're just genuine. So there's
Yeah,
genuineness,
exactly.
isn't there? I know what you're trying to say. Completely resonate with what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and that's when I asked you about your price and what, if you could help me, and what services, like in terms of your programs or coaching offer that you do. And then, Alhamdulillah, we connected, and you
Um,
tried
I want to
to
ask you
answer
here.
all my
Yeah,
questions.
this is I want to ask you here, which is if you don't mind sharing with the ladies, like, what was your actual experience when you reached out and you were trying to decide whether my services and my programs were suitable for you? What was that experience for you? At that point, you'd reached out and then we jumped on a call, or various calls, but that
Yeah,
specific experience of your decision making process of whether my service was suitable for you, and how I treated you during that process as well,
yeah,
that stage of your decision making.
yeah. I will tell you what worked for me, what resonated with me. I really like the way that you shared your program screens with me, like, this is where you are, this is what's happening, this is where we are going to go. And this is how you showed me the assessment chart, and we discussed that. And then you, because there was one, you shared a lot of feedback from your, like, different clients that had spoken out to you. There was one of Najia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly.
Oh,
uh,
Nedja,
Najda?
the professor she's
Yeah,
based in Germany. Yeah, she's a professor in Germany. Yeah. Oh, beautiful soul.
yeah. So when I went through that, everything that she was saying was like she was using her words to express me. And I was like, yes, yes. The more I was listening to her, I was like, yes, yes, you're right. That's exactly what I feel. That's exactly how I am. Yes, yes. There were so many yeses when I was listening to her. I was like, oh my God, yes. And that resonated with me, because if she has come to you with all this, and I have the same issues and I have the same situation, then Alhamdulillah, definitely, if she sought help and she has been helped, then I have the right person here with me. So that was one thing that was really resonating and important in my decision making with you. The other was when you shared, because the previous experience that I had was nothing was being shared. It was
Oh,
not. It was kept a secret. I don't know, but it was a different program. I didn't go into the deeper level with that coach, so I'm not sure if it was going to be revealed later on. But still, for me, this is important, like the trust. It built the trust for me with you, because I'm not sure about I cannot speak on other people's behalf, but for me to know and understand how this is going to work
how
out.
this system, how this process is going to work. As
Yeah,
high achieving women, we like to know, we're visible.
yeah, 'cause-
We like to just to visibly
yeah,
see things. And yeah, absolutely. It's important that we know what we're buying,
yeah.
really.
Exactly. I'm a master's, Suemyya, and you can see I have worked in various roles, and I have the understanding. I know a lot of things. I have been reading on my own. So for me to not to think that this is a magic doesn't work. For me, I need solid, like information, to be shared, that see, this is how we're going to go. This is the path that we are going to take, and this is how we are going to reach the other end of the rainbow. So yeah, and the fact that whatever questions I had, you came back to me with all the answers, and you offered me the first call that was to be free if I didn't want to move ahead, and if we did, it could be part of our program. So these things what mattered and build the trust for me.
And you know that session that I offered you, the complimentary session, I did say to you, I promised you that within this session, you will get a deep transformation, unlike you've ever had before. Was that delivered to you? That promise I made to you, was that delivered to you?
Suemyya, for the first time when I did that, it didn't go as deep for me, but I have been using it until today,
Okay.
because I think the fact is that because I have had so much of, like trauma and the painful memories, that for me, it's probably not easy to just snap out of it or get out of it, but it definitely helps. It has helped. It is helping me. I go through it every single day, almost, maybe not more than once in a
Awesome.
day.
Awesome.
Whenever I feel anxious, whenever I feel that, I'm losing my, like balance again, I go back, take out time, and I listen to it, and I feel better. I feel connected. I feel calm, and I feel at peace with myself.
So this is something that you could use for the rest of your life, a proven tool that's helping you navigate your emotions and bringing back balance.
Yes.
Awesome. So then, while you were making the decision of working with me, what made you decide to go ahead with the plan? And at any point, did you feel like you were pushed into making a decision, or did you feel you were safe and you were seen and you were understood? How was that particular part when you did decide to go ahead? What was that
This
experience like?
Yeah, I would love to talk about that, Suemyya. This was one of the other factors that really helped me make you gave me ample time. You did not push me to make the decision, and I took my own sweet time. But even when I made the decision, you gave me a few more extra days just for me to make sure that, I'm not rushing into anything, and I'm doing this from a very powerful place. I really want to make this decision. And the other beautiful thing was that you allowed us to, like work out a plan uh, on a price that like was a win-win situation. It wasn't, like something that was an issue for you to go on with this with me without compromising yourself and your value for the program, and something that worked out, the plan, the payment plan that worked out for me. So this is what was missing for me, and this is what I found when I started my conversations with you. And that's the beauty of this program, that I am not bothered or not worried about anything, and I'm free of all these issues, and I can peacefully help myself heal with you. I don't have to, I don't have any bad or negative thoughts or negative emotions in my body about the program. I'm at peace, and I'm always looking forward. And I also want to add, I'm not trying to promote you here.
we just want you to share your story of hope. This is
Yeah.
this is what the intention of this call is, because so many women are just struggling, and it's about giving them hope that Sadia was where you are right now, and there's hope.
Yes, Suemyya, and the 5 weeks that we have had, the first week, if you remember clearly, I was jittery. I was reaching out, and I was like, I couldn't get through 7 days. I just couldn't. I know I was panicking. I was, like going back. I had so many flashbacks. I was like, oh my God, I need another session, right? It was like I'm on drugs and I just need my drug. But the next week was better than the first one. And the third was better than the second one, and so forth and so on. And today I'm on my fifth, and I don't think I have reached out to anyone in between these days. I'm on my last day.
Yeah, we have a session tomorrow. That's the sixth
Session
session.
tomorrow. Yeah. So Alhamdulillah, I see that this difference, I'm less anxious. As I told you, I'm on a call center job, and I was miserable before these 5 sessions. When I used to have the call ringing, I would have a panic attack,
Jumpy. Yeah.
jumpy. I was low on my self-esteem and I didn't know how to speak. I was feeling so low of myself that I couldn't even communicate at the same level with my customers. That you need to build that trust, and I couldn't build that trust. That was so problematic for me. But now I when I'm on my job and I'm on the calls, I start my day, I'm like, I'm here to help people. And I'm so happy to receive the calls. And I'm so happy to speak to them. I'm so open to listening to them. I'm all ears. I'm so attentive, so clear, so present in the moment. And previously, it was like I was looking at you, but I had this thick wall in front of my eyes that I was not looking at you actually. I was looking at a screen that's playing my past, all the negative, all the sad emotions and memories of my past. And that I have to cross through that screen to look at the world. It's now the veil has lifted a little bit. There's some more clarity. So yeah.
That's just so beautiful what you've just said, that, you know, within 5 weeks, that's 5 hours, because we have a session like one hour per week. And what you're saying is that you've literally rebuilt your self-confidence again. That
Yeah.
when you're jumping on a call, you're jumping on this call, you're receiving this call from a place of confidence, clarity, hope, and just love. And we've been able to do that by, you know, peeling all those negative emotions by one. And that's just so beautiful to hear, that you've rebuilt your confidence from within, because that ripple effect, Sadia, is massive. And I do what I do because what's now going to happen, because you've built your self-confidence, you're seeing it at work, but eventually that ripple effect, your boys are going to see it, and they're going to build their self-confidence to another level, because our children are a reflection of us. And so, you know, just a backstory, when I was working as a social worker, and teachers would refer students who had anxiety, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, behavior issues, the root cause was the home environment, the mother, you know, lacking in confidence, anxious, anxiety, etc. And so working on these students, they got, you know, they did improve, but they went back to square one.
Yeah.
Working on the root cause was what was going to make a massive difference. And I do what I do because I know healing the mother is now going to build the child's self-esteem, confidence, and self-worth.
Exactly.
So that ripple effect, I can't wait in the future for your boys to really see their mother, you know, being in this position where she's owning her worth. And so they will eventually have a high, not only EQ, but intelligence IQ, EQ. And that's what's missing in our society, which children are not learned how to have strong EQ. So that gives me goosebumps. So, I mean, how would you say your life, or not life, but how would you say things have improved for you, like emotionally, mentally, energetically? I know last week when we did the wheel, you didn't, you know, how have you improved on all three of those areas?
Yeah, it's beautiful to see that, you know, I remember when we did it the first time in our first call, and I was like a 0, like a 1, or maybe if I can say a minus something. But now, Alhamdulillah, I remember when you asked me that question, and the first figures that came to my heart and my mind were like 4, 5, 6. And it was just like, you know, that's how just I felt like, you know, it was very intuitively coming out as that.
And it's just so nice, like in 5 weeks, you've managed to improve emotionally, mentally, energetically between 40 to 50%. Not most importantly, what you've just said, that intuitively these answers came out. So now you've dropped from this headspace into your heart. And when we drop into our heart, that's when we start receiving so much love.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. I don't know what I just wanted to say something. It skipped my mind. I'll come back to it when it comes back to me.
Okay, so you know, let's give the women that are listening, you know, a balanced perspective of things here. What have you not enjoyed so much? You know, what have you not enjoyed? What things have you not enjoyed working with me? That also is very important for women to also hear. You know, what's been the most difficult part of this journey so far? What are some of the things that, you know, you've not enjoyed working with me? That also helps women as well see things holistically.
I don't know if there's anything. I think the only problem I have is like we are on the other parts of the world and the timing doesn't match.
So when you're messaging me, sometimes it's like 11 o'clock at night,
Yeah,
and I respond back saying, "In the morning,
yes,
I'll finish this conversation." I'm just
because we are on, like totally opposite ends of the world. You have day, I have night, and like that's I would like maybe wanted to have the sessions at a different time, but definitely uh the benefit that I see, as I told you, I've been on this journey for almost 6 years, I can say. But the changes that have happened in these 5 sessions are nothing compared to those 6 years. And that is, I still cannot wrap my head around that, like it's unbelievable. I don't know how this all works. It could be woohoo magic, but I don't know, but it works.
Okay, so let me tell you, there is some woohoo stuff that and I'm not trying to promote myself, but just to answer your question, why have you been able to achieve so much in 6 sessions where you've been on this journey for 6 years? And it's quite simply, it's just a very simple answer. When clients come to work with me, what they get in is 18 years of experience within this field.
Yeah.
Which a lot of therapists and coach do not have this level of experience. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to work with clients who have had childhood trauma, you need to be able to have the experience. So straight away, you know what the root cause is, what the wounds are, where they are right now, where they want to go. So you can literally put an assessment in place within minutes.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's lacking within the coaching industry, the therapy industry, that therapists do not have this level of experience. Yes, what they do have is they've been trained in a modality, usually online or in person, over a space of a few months. Okay. Then what's happening is they're going out and marketing themselves as being able to heal women, overcome childhood trauma. The word trauma is being really, really loosely being used on the online space when coaches, therapists do not have experience, expertise to be able to work with the most vulnerable members of our society. As a qualified social worker with masters, I had to do masters in order for me to work with clients that had experienced childhood trauma. Not only that, but I had to go through rigorous supervised practice.
Yes.
Not only that, but I had mentors, senior social workers who had been doing this work for about 10 years plus, supervising my practice. To ensure that when I worked with a client, I had the relevant skills, expertise, and the client was safe. There was ethical practice that was happening.
Right.
So not only that, but then I'm also trained in several modalities, hypnotherapy, energy alignment, stress management, resilience building, and I've worked with thousands of family and children. Why am I sharing this? Not to promote myself, but can you see the difference between someone who just does a course for a few months and this? So what you're getting is that this level of experience and expertise. So that's why in a short space of time we can just literally just go take it like a roller coaster. Initially, I'll start with you, as you know, we'll do an assessment, that wheel that we did, and I asked you so many questions, and I was like, okay, these are the wounds, this is what's going on. And then after that, if you remember, the second stage was, right, Sadia, this is your personalized treatment plan, this is what's happening, this is what these are your blocks, this is how long it's going to take us to get you from where you are now, where you want to be. And then we were flexible about the investment. Okay, what can you do? What can I do? What can I give you? And then, we discussed that part as well. It wasn't like, right, this is, okay, this is what it's, the investment is. And so it was all a conversation of flexibility, honesty. And so that's that. I hope that answers your question of, was it woohoo? So yeah, there's element of science and there's art when clients work, when there's a combination of two things. So you've got your science, which is my social work background, and then you've got the woohoo stuff, which is all the modality. So using a combination of two things, that's why we're able to achieve such fast, rapid results in a very short space of time.
Yeah, that's exactly. And yeah, I do remember, like when we went to the conversation of the money, I was like, you could either, just say that, oh, I cannot reduce my price. And, it could have been just, okay, I'm sorry, you can think about it if you want to come back and we can do this, or let it go. But it was good. I could sense that, you had this sincere concern and, like wantingness to help and not let the decision go based on the price and investment on the, like therapy and all the healing. So that really allowed me to build more trust in you and in this program and make a decision based on that.
So what would be your message if there's someone listening to this and just living in that place of darkness and they just feel like there's no way out of this tunnel? What would be your message, just from your heart? What would be your message to someone that's listening to this? And there's no coincidence that they're listening to your journey today. What would be your message to them?
It is a very important, like question and an opportunity to speak on behalf of all the women that have been feeling the way I have felt. And I really want to tell them that when you feel that, this is the end, I remember myself, I had reached a point where I thought that I have lived my life miserably, because even before I had my kids, I was living a fulfilled life, but fulfilled in the sense that outwardly, I was achieving a lot. I was at the top of everything. I put my efforts in. The world was looking up to me. I was inspirational. I was like, like the person who has done it all and done more than they should have. I was like, I don't want to, like praise myself anything, but I know that I had done and achieved so much in my life that probably someone from my same background or same level would not have reached probably. So I was doing all that, but inside I was not happy. I was, empty. There was emptiness, there was loneliness, there was sadness, there was grief, there was shame, there was guilt, all those emotions. I was not living for myself. I was living for the world. I was living for my family, for my parents, for my siblings, for everyone else but me, because I had lost myself. And I had reached a point where I said, I have lived 40 years of my life in misery and I'm just going to die miserable. I don't think there's anything, because this is when I had sought help for 6 years and I had still problems. And the problems were with relationships. I was disconnected with my husband, my father, both my parents, my siblings, my friends. I was having negative thoughts about my friends, my colleagues. I was thinking on their behalf that I'm being judged, whereas I was judging myself. I'm critical. I'm still not over my healing journey, so I'm just 5 sessions in, and it has made an improvement there, but there's still a lot that needs to be peeled off. But
oh, Sadia, you've muted yourself, darling. Sadia.
Yes, sorry, I'm so sorry. I accidentally. Yeah, so I just want to tell those ladies, please, I have found this. I had lost hope. I had lost all hope. That's when I lost all hope, I went in the Hajj. I made duas and I was like, Ya Allah, like show me the way and heal me. And Alhamdulillah, today I'm here and I'm hopeful and I'm improving and I'm happy. It feels strange to say that I'm happy. It really feels strange, Maybe I'm not happy at that level, but I'm happy. I'm happier than before. I'm a bit more connected. I feel a bit more relaxed and feel like it's not all my fault. Whatever happened to me did not happen because of me. It happened because of people, because of situations, and because Allah allowed that to happen to me. And there must have been a reason. There has to be a hikmah through that. Probably this is the sort of journey that I had to be on. And I'm supposed to be somewhere else through this, getting through this.
So what are your relationships like now? I know it's still too soon to say, but what are your relationships like now?
It is, as I said, I have deep problems with the relationship, but they're not all gone away, but improved. There's an improvement, especially as I told you, with my office, my colleagues, my work, my calls. There's an improvement. I'm not too scared. My fear of failure, my fear of judgment has reduced, has not gone away, probably, or gone away, I don't know, but definitely there has been betterment in those areas.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Would you like to come back and tell us when you finish the program, which is, I think we've got, I can't remember how many more. That would be so nice. You're not even halfway at the moment, are you? I think I'm just going to check how many sessions. I've got my phone here in front of me. So
no, I don't think we are halfway even through.
Tomorrow is our 6th session out of the 16th session. So you're not even halfway there yet.
Yes.
So we would love you to come back after you've completed your 16th session, because I know there was so many, like when you signed up, there was so much doubt, and you were obviously concerned, oh, is this going to work? And which was very understandable, because you'd been on this journey for 6 years. So it's understandable you had that concern. So we'd love you to come back and just share your journey when you've completed all the sessions.
Sure.
There was one question I wanted to ask you, is something which other women might be thinking is, have you found you've obviously working one-to-one, but have you found like there's been a community of other women whilst we've been working one-to-one that have also been supportive and empowering you on this journey?
Yes, thank you for raising that up, Suemyya. I forgot to mention that this is one of the other things that is really good and unique about your coaching. What should I say? Coaching.
Transformation.
I don't want to call it a business, like it's a coaching.
It's a
probably
transformational service.
Yes.
I don't resonate with the word business either. For me,
yes.
This is for me, it's a purpose. Just
program,
to share,
I think.
a
transformation program.
To share a little bit of a backstory. It's like, for me, I had an intuitive nerve during COVID, and I heard a little voice that God was saying to me a lot, like, you've got to heal women, you've got to get visible.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, why Allah, why you keep doing this to me? I just want to be quiet and just focus.
Yeah, you can see I'm still hiding behind the screen.
So that's why. So this is why the word business doesn't also resonate for me.
Yes.
This is like a message that Allah has sent me to do. So it's a service that I offer. So yeah, it's a transformational service, if we want to name it anything.
Yeah, I think that's more appropriate for me to say that as well, Suemyya. So what's really beautiful about your program is that you connected with me. You were not scared to connect with me, connect me with the ladies that have worked with you and those are planning to work with you. You allowed me to speak to them, to connect with them, to even, if during those weeks when I'm waiting for my next session, if I'm too jittery, too anxious, too panicky, I can reach out there and have some sort of support. And you didn't want me to depend on you, and you did not allow us to, in between those gaps, connect and ask questions, rather journal or speak up in the community. That is one more thing that builds the trust, because with the other, I haven't been with too many coaches, I've just been with one, and there this wasn't available. So the lack of trust, like, I don't know if I should lack of self, but the building blocks of trust with you was all these things, they just kept on adding up. Okay, I have a community that, I can see the women who have been with you and who have been transformed, and who are those women, where they come from, what is their background, what are their achievements, or what is their status, like in terms of, as you say, you talk about high achieving, are they really high achieving? So that gives you a lot of
just
comfort.
Like a marketing gimmick that is
it's your comfort as well, that shows your strength in in terms of allowing people to see the program, allowing people to discuss the price, allowing people to have that communities, like, I don't know if it's available with elsewhere, because I've just been with 2 and I have seen a difference between the first and the second. And the value that I got with connecting with you is all that I'm discussing here. For me, that these are the building blocks of trust. Trust is really important for me.
Absolutely. Just to also just say that one of the reasons why I really empower my women to journal in between sessions, and there's a reason behind this, is because I really don't want my women to have that codependent relationship. And this is where I really feel the coaching industry fails, that they kind of create this codependent relationship with their clients. And so therefore, after they finish a program, it's like, okay, the next thing, you need to continuously work with me. Otherwise, if you don't work with me, you're not going to get the results. No, I don't believe in that. I'm like, you are an independent, empowered woman. We're going to have your sessions in between. These are the tools that you need. So I'm literally from day one preparing you and weaning you. So when you finish your program, you're standing in your power and you're like, I got the tools. I've got the healings. I know exactly what to do when I have this crisis. I'll bring this, I'll take this. So there's one like block after another that I'm building in the background for you to have those tools. So when we finish working on the program, you're like, you know what, I've got this. I can do it on my own. Sometimes some of my clients are like maintenance work. They're like, oh, can I just come and, have sessions once a month, maintenance purposes? That's fine. If you don't want that, you've got everything you need. So that's the reason why I believe in independence rather than codependency. My women are successful. They don't need me hand holding them, because that's going to create a very kind of unhealthy relationship. And that's what I'm trying to give my women, is that building that self-trust, that self-confidence, that they've got the answers. And by all the tools and the community service that we have with the women, you're going to figure this out. But I also know when you're really struggling, that I do allow that space for you to reach out, and I will mentor you during the DM. But generally speaking, I'm like, right, this is what we need to do, or this is the tool you need to go use. Okay, this is what you need. So there's yes, and also going back to high achieving, you're right, like the women that I specifically work with and the community that we have created, Sadia, you may perhaps agree with me, they are high achieving women, right?
Yes.
They are, women, generally speaking, from the minority ethnic group. A majority of the women are Muslims, but not all of them. And they all have reached, like, they are very educated, highly intelligent, experts within their industry, whether it be in law, whether it be in housing, whether it be in marketing, whether it be in finance, whether it be in engineering.
Yes.
And don't you find with everyone just coming from this perspective that you all are able to resonate with one another?
Yes, it is really amazing and beautiful, because when I and the few other ladies in the group have reached out to each other, and it's like I remember someone posting about some issues, and I was like, oh my God, like, it's exactly what I have. And I was afraid to speak up, but when someone did, I was like, yeah. And it's really nice to hear it from other people, and it's that you can be open and you can seek help. And I have been there once or twice seeking help, and I've got help, and it was good to. And I really like it when you come in there and share your like information and knowledge with us, and that really helps us to understand the situation and calm ourselves down, and like, okay, we've got this.
Yeah, sometimes I just let you ladies like reflect and just share your ideas and stuff, but then when I can and reading the thread, I'm like, okay, they need some sort of input here, then you're right, I'll just right, okay ladies, this is what's happening, this is why this is this is that, and that obviously gives helps you ladies to get the awareness, because you're trying to find a solution to something, and then I
Yes.
can sense that, right, okay, something, you've had awareness of something, and all of you are just kind of discussing it, you're trying to find a solution, you don't know what it is. And then when I can sense that, I'm right, I'll come and say, okay, ladies, this is what's happening, this is this X, Y, and Z, this is how this, and then I do find all of you like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, and then you're like, can we have a session on this subject for our group's coaching call? Okay, I planned something else, but if this is what you ladies want, let's just listen to you and let's have that for our next group coaching call.
Yes, that has happened.
Sadia, it's been so lovely just seeing you grow. I remember the first call that we had to just now where you are, it's just so beautiful. Like just your body language. When I see you on the call to when I first saw you and I see this radiant smile, it just honestly gives me goosebumps. Not only that, but you actually give me the strength to carry on doing what I do. So I want to really thank you for that gift that you've given me. And any other, message before we end this beautiful, beautiful interview?
I think I just would like to reiterate to all the women listening to me, those are, I can, relate to them. I have been on the other side, and as I said, I have had a long journey, and I was almost going to give up, and I was like, okay, this is not getting any better, because I gave it a lot of time and I was running out of time because I felt people around me might lose patience and give up on me. And so I was giving up on myself before anyone else could give up on me. But the thing is that we are looking at ourselves and our lives from an inside view, from that inside darkness view. Like we are not able to turn on the lights. We are not able to look out of the frame that we are already in. So if anyone is where I have been, please don't give up on yourselves, and please take the leap, and take this opportunity to help yourselves. Because I know whoever is there with me on this same page, I know that then they need to do this for themselves, but most importantly for their family, for their kids, for the relationship. Because to us, to women, to humans, relationships are the pinnacle at the top. And what all these negativity and the darkness and the traumas does is it affects our relationships with ourselves. Because when we are not happy with ourselves, when we are not in a good relationship with ourselves, then we don't think that anyone else can. Because if we cannot approve of ourselves, how can anyone else approve of ourselves? So what needs to change is that inside. You have to change the view on you. And not sometimes, I wanted to sometimes, but mostly when we have come to that point, we need help. Maybe we cannot help ourselves, because like I have tried. I told you, I never gave up on myself. For all these years, I've never stopped trying to help myself, because I know, and everyone who is here, who is listening to us, who is looking at this video or this interview, knows that they want to do this. They want to get out of this. They're stuck. You're stuck just like me, just like every other person, and you want to move ahead. You are just like, it's like you're in your car and you're turning on the ignition, but it's not turning on. You just want to go run away. You want to run like in fresh air and feel happy, and like you want to feel the happiness, but you're not able to feel that happiness. So please, if you have all these issues, and if something like all these things resonate with you, please help yourself, because there is help. You can help yourself. There are people to help you come out of this. Just do it.
Yeah, like you said, if you're living in this darkness and everyone's at different stages, if that darkness means you're still kind of becoming aware of what's happening, there are books available. There's so many resources out there. It's about, just, acknowledging, okay, something's not right, and just reaching out that moment in time, whatever help that's available to you, like even reading a book or an article or something. But like you said, it's peeling back the layers allows you to connect back to your true self, have flourishing relationship with people at home, your children, your husband, and also to reach the next level in your career, because most of the women I work with, their career is a vehicle for them to have a better life, create a better lifestyle for their children, to serve their community. So it's not a career like, how can I explain? It's not a career like, linguistically, or in the Western society with, careers. You're a career-driven woman. There's an ideology behind that. It's a negative ideology, but it's rather the career is a vehicle for these, for the ladies that I work with, to do better for their children, better for their community. And when we excel in our career, we're able to have the resources, not money, but money is a resource to help our children in their future as well.
Definitely.
And that's what we're here to do, is just to support our little children grow and flourish.
Yes, that's very
they
important.
don't have the traumas that we've had to endure.
Yes, we don't want to repeat those patterns. We don't want them to go through what we did. We want to create a better future emotionally for them.
And that's
make them resilient, make them strong, make them happy.
And we've got to do that first. We've got to be that role model where we have strong resilience, where we're able to manage our stress, not only heal, as you know, not when we're working together, it's not healing, but I also give you the tools, because those tools allows us to teach our children how to manage stress, emotional regulation, and all of that. Thank you so much for your time today. I think we've had this interview for an hour, which I wasn't expecting it to. It's just so beautiful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts and energy. And thank you so much, Sadia.
You're welcome. Really my pleasure to be here.
And I really look forward to us finishing the program, you coming back and just seeing the end result of your transformation.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, just before you go, there was something like you said at the end of last session, and it really warmed my heart. As we left the session, you went, "Oh, I feel happy," and just now you're just saying, "I can't wait." And it's so beautiful for me to hear those words, because 5 weeks ago, before we started, you were so fearful. So it gives me goosebumps when I hear you share these beautiful feedbacks. I love you loads, you know I do.
Oh, yes, thank you so much. Love
thank
you back
so much, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our session. And thank you for your time today. I love you loads, Sadia.
Bye, Suemyya. So much. Bye.
Bye, my darling. Bye.